Hey Virgo, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well, Virgo. I just want to say before we get into your messages that I have launched my Patreon account. You can find the link for that below in the description box, and I'm really excited about it. We dive into July's energies, but also we do different types of readings. We look into love, we look into different sections of your life. And you can find the link for that below in the description box. I'm super excited about it. Longer form videos, bigger messages, longer messages, all in my Patreon account. So if you're interested, the link for that is below. Let's get into this message from your future self and see what your future self wants you to know in this moment. We have number 35 with sunrise. You can always begin again. Sorry, I'm like, what is she pulling on in this image? So interesting. This is my first time seeing this card. Oh, it's a blanket. She's like, you know how you throw, you're like making your bed and you throw a blanket in the air to like straighten it out. So that's interesting, but it's filled with clouds and things. Very interesting. Why would that stand out to me? Let's see what the tarot has. We have the Page of Cups. I do get like a dreamy energy about this. The King of Pentacles. And lastly, we have the Queen of Cups. Interesting. Virgo, you might have love on your mind. I don't know why this Page of Cups is coming through as you or the energy of you. Some of you might be considering taking someone up on their offer, if you know what I mean. Maybe someone has offered you a date. They've offered you their time and energy. Okay, so your future self is saying, be careful of that all of nothing mentality that you have sometimes, Virgo. They're warning you of being that all or nothing person. So like, let's say, this is just an example, but like, let's say, you're looking for love, right? But you have, if it doesn't immediately feel like everything is gonna, like we're gonna have the baby, we're gonna have the house, we're gonna have the, if it doesn't feel like that, then you throw the whole thing away. It's like, well, I'm not dealing with it. This is just an example, but literally this could be any part of your life that you feel that you have these thoughts where you don't necessarily take something small or potential or a seed or whatever it is and let it grow and see where it goes, or you focus too much on the end result of things, right? So like, if this is just an example again, let's say you are building a business. If you don't have 15 clients, or you don't have all the things in your cabinet to make a certain food that you want, a certain meal, that's the word I'm getting stuck on, then you don't even, like, you throw the whole recipe away. You're like, I'm gonna do it another day when I have the salt, right? It's like something about this energy feels as though, or your future self is telling you that you need to work with what you have, right? And let God, the universe, provide along the way, along your journey. And even if something doesn't measure up to whatever expectation you have, because I do feel like you're right now in these moments in your life, there's a lot of expectation you're putting, and there's nothing wrong with expecting the best from life or expecting the best from a particular situation, but you get so wrapped up in it that it's difficult for you to see how something is actually working in your benefit, like how the things are coming together. So it's like you can't see how you're on the right road. You can't see that things are gonna happen for you or manifest in the way that you want, because you've been digging into the idea of like, it doesn't look like it, so I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have any part of this. They took me to this restaurant, or they took me to this part of town, or they look like this, right? It's like something that you're zeroing in on your micro managing a situation too closely to the point that it can't breathe, it can't grow. You can't, because you can't see how it's going to measure up to this idea in your head. So you are needing to focus on not necessarily the results, but the process, right? So if you're baking a cake, just focus on the eggs, focus on the milk, focus on the water, focus on the mixing of the ingredients. Just focus on the step, right? Not the entire staircase, not what you're gonna have to do next week, or if you're gonna have the money to support your dream in the future. You just need to focus on what's in front of you. And if failure comes a knocking, it's not a step. You're not going to be thrown 20 steps back. This is going this failure, quote unquote, because I don't feel like you're going to fail, but this part of this failure, this feeling of failure, is a part of what's going to get you closer to this dream, believe it or not, but closer to whatever this thing is. It's just like in love, when we have to date a bunch of different people till we find the one, which I'm a person who really doesn't believe in the one person. That's crazy, but in my opinion. But if you are a person who hold those beliefs, you're not going to really find them by saying, I'm not dating anybody then until the one comes through. You're going to have to go through a couple of folks, okay? You're going to have to date a little bit. You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to see what works and what doesn't. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what stage you're in. We don't have this shit figured out, right? We don't have the rules that people will try to apply to love and to relationships. It don't work. It just doesn't. So no games, no rules. It's just following your intuition, following what your heart is telling you to do, and not letting yourself stay stuck in a box or in a situation because you can't see the full tree. You can't see the whole bloom situation. You can only see the acorn, right? You can only see the seed going into the ground. And that's enough. When you get to the next step, your guides, your future self will guide you on that step, right? Don't be afraid to have your heart broken, is what I'm basically saying. And by allowing yourself to have that level of freedom, you'll be surprised at how you actually avoid that. You avoid the heartbreak. You avoid it because you've been so trusting in this situation. So what's interesting about what the message that just came through for you, Virgo, is that the cards are not really supporting this message. So that was directly from your guides, so, and your future self. So that's interesting. Whatever. Sometimes I get messages from the cards. Sometimes it's just a direct channel. Wow. Look at this, guys. Dear, take a risk and fly. You can't make this shit up at all. You really just can't. So that's all I'm seeing for you, Virgo. I really hope that it resonated. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.